Good evening or good morning. It's like 1:39 in the morning. And I had something in my mind I wanted to talk about. Something that's been like kind of troubling me for the last couple weeks. There's a lot of guys that I follow on YouTube who I admire so much. And I think they're very intelligent brothers. And everybody have different standpoints on how they feel about certain topics, and I feel something differently. And this thing here, the thing I want to analyze is the I hate black women syndrome. For some reason that there is a market for that right now. Don't get me wrong, I know everybody has issues, but there's some people who blatantly come out with it, and there's some people who imply with it. With the whole thing is just, I don't want to go into like in depth on who these people are, but these are good brothers, and they got a lot of positive content. Trying for the black people, for the black race, and trying to get yourself together. And it's just difficult for me to just sit here and not say anything, because I think differently about black women. I love them. I can't live without them. And hopefully by the grace of God that I'm going to marry a black woman. It doesn't matter from what ethnic background you come from. And it's just that I just try to understand why a lot of men hate black women. Why? And I guess they try to group black women in one group when there's different type of black women. Professional, hood rat, in between. And even with that, I still don't think that, you have a right to state an opinion about it, but when you're blatantly just disrespectful about it, you create a certain kind of culture that everybody starts to follow. Because, at this point in time, everybody's looking for a messiah. Everybody's looking for somebody to lead them, a leader, so forth. So a lot of content that you might put out or information people who are somewhat naive, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but there's a lot of naive people who they're listening to some people, and these people are intelligent, and they'll take their information face value and they go in depth with it. They think like this is what these guys are saying, but not technically. You can always go for what people are talking about. And it's just crazy, man. How the things is, there's certain brothers who talk negatively about black women. You can tell that they probably grew up in single family homes. Point blank. They had to grow up in single family homes. They probably had a negative experience growing up, or there's some type of resentment towards their mothers for a reason being unknown, and they might blame them for the absence of their fathers in their life, which you can't blame a black woman so much for. Don't get me wrong, there's some sense of accountability that black women must take, but as black men we must take accountability as well for a lot of things that goes on, even though that we are plagued with our own social and economic issues. So from that point, and there's a lot of people who breed negative stereotype as far as black women and black men. But the thing about it is and feel free to comment. I'm gonna leave the comment box open and tell me, give me your opinion on why you think black men hate black women, or why you think so. Just trying to understand that. Because the thing about it is, if you see a group of people going through something, or they're doing themselves wrong, you should be able to try to help them in a sense, not save them. You can't save anybody. The only people who can save themselves, the only people who can save them is themselves. Time heals all wounds, no matter what it is. No matter what type of counseling you might get, no matter what type of information you get, at the end of the day, you have to be the one to make a change in your life. Point blank. That's necessarily what it's all about. And if you're not all about that, then nobody can do nothing for you. And it's just as real as that. Just as real as that. To try to understand what goes on in the mind of people and see what doing it wrong. Because we have a lot of issues out here, man. A lot of issues, man. Unemployment rate, AIDS and HIV, the rapid number of single family households, you know what I mean? And economically we're not even a factor in this world waste. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of other issues we need to focus on more than why you have a bunch of black women who are having kids out of wedlock. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, those issues are important, because you know what I mean, that we need to try to educate these young girls on respecting their chastity. For the most part, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can give a person the information, but are they willing to use that advice to the best of their ability? And that's really what the point is, you know what I mean? And to try to get that out. So it's just, I think a lot of these dudes somehow in their life had a negative experience with black women, but you can't blame all black women for that. It's not all their fault. There's so many achievements these women are doing, and we have to try to come together as people and work together for the greater good and goals. You know what I mean? Because if not, we'll lose ourselves within 100 years. We'll definitely lose ourselves. You know what I mean? Like I say before, I'm just a vessel for the greater good of what we need to do. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. That's, you know what I mean? That's really what's on my mind. You know what I mean? My brothers got this I hate black women syndrome. And why they always just talking shit about black women. You know what I mean? They this and they that. You know what I mean? We know that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who make us get a negative stereotype, but that's not all of them. You know what I mean? That's only but of a small percentage. And you know what I mean? There's some people along the way who makes mistakes. People are human, and you have to be accountable for that, but we're not going to cold-heartedly victimize them for the rest of their life of mistakes they have made because they not know no better, you know what I mean, due to a bad parenting, you know what I mean. And hopefully this message can get to somebody and you can understand. You can't always hate people or hate your own people and think that dating out your race is the better good, you know what I mean. And not saying that's anything wrong, you have a right to, but I think that you should just give an opportunity to people to understand. Try to understand them before you pass judgment. And that's really all I gotta say. You know, my name's Hakeem Bello. This is the Media Bums. Feel free to press the like button, subscribe. You know, I'm gonna be uploading videos, and I got some things coming into the works, which I'm trying to do differently. I'm trying to open up a business and hire convicted felons. You know what I mean? That's one of my plans are. And you know what I mean? Just basically take back communities that was taken from us. That's my goal. You know what I mean? And if you like it, hit me up. You don't, so be it. You know, there's plenty of other people you can listen to, and that's what. So I want y'all all to have a good night. Sleep tight, and remember, you are the master of your destiny, and you can change your future at any given time.